Hey all, Payne here with another status report. It's been a little while. This one's coming a little bit late, so this is basically recapping November, but it's coming in at the beginning of December here. Um, a lot going on as far as just life in general. It's just been super busy, so a lot of hobby stuff in general has really just been put on a back burner. But hopefully that'll be changing soon as like about a little under 2 weeks now. Just some big kind of life changes and stuff going on the personal side. And then I'll be kind of getting more in the swing of things, but still, I got so many busy things going on. So, a few things I want to touch on though because of that. Um, I don't know where to start. So I guess one big thing is this Instagram collaboration I'm doing with 20 other artists, recreating the Knights Errant from the Horse Heresy times, which a lot of them later would become the Grey Knights chapter. It's a fun project. You know, we all got randomly selected some of the named or the known named Knights Errant, and just doing the research and everything like that, and then trying to find a description of them. And my character, luckily enough, was like somewhat briefly just uh, depicted, I guess, on the cover of a short story. And there's a little bit of depiction in the short story that he's in two short stories. Um, it is the shoot, I can't remember what they're called now. One is "Go Speak Not," and the other is "Patient" or "Patience." The first one, he's mostly still wearing his Death Guard armor throughout. The second one, though, they actually kind of describe a little bit of him in his new Knights Errant beaky armor and everything, but that is also like where he's depicted as well on the cover art. So I basically just tried to recreate as close as I could, like the pose and everything of the cover art for him. The next step I need to do is get to the painting aspect. I'm going to be trying quite a bit different. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I may fall back on this attempt, other than just doing, because they're kind of like that silver gray bear ceramite kind of metal. Um, I want to do a non-metallic metal with him, but we'll see how that goes. I've never painted that style before, and so it'll be a completely new attempt. But I want to challenge myself and give something a little different than just doing a metallic metal paint with a wash and then like some dry brush or just even some highlights of another metallic metal paint. I would rather kind of go with a non-metallic metal paint and work my way up and try to get that effect and see if I can do it. And we'll kind of go from there. If it starts to turn out not too well, then I may just abandon altogether. But look for the beginning of the new year, at the beginning of the new year, so like January, first week or two, is the target for everybody being complete with their Knights Errant. So it's been a pretty fun project to be a part of. Just we collaborated. I was approached on Instagram by someone who started doing this. I guess they do kind of these various collab projects in the past, and it's been about a month in the making of just planning, organizing, getting the 20 so members um, of people to participate, and then going through the planning process, and then because we're trying to do somewhat uniform but a little bit different. So the other aspect of it too is like wanting like a true scale, or as close to true scale. So something that I've not really delved in, but I do a lot of conversion. So I mean, I went the easy route with it and just pretty much did kind of a leg swap with Terminator legs, and then did a Primaris torso that I kind of shaved and adjusted to make it look more like an earlier mark of armor versus the new Primaris armor. um, so yeah, so it's been real fun, and like I said, collaborating, and kind of we kept it all a secret, and then we all announced it on Instagram. Then I also posted on Facebook the initial teaser video, and then the next day, and like the point was we do that with these hashtags that we had, but don't answer anybody's questions or mention anything. A lot of people kind of guess and kind of like, and then they see like all these similar artists posting the same thing and really kind of sparked a lot of people's interest, which was really cool. And then the next day, everyone kind of posted, current work in progress pictures and stuff like that. Um, so super awesome, super fun project. Something else I'm working on, and actually I need to get back onto working, but just things are really busy and hectic right now on the personal side of things. But I have a red, or not a red, a brass scorpion model. I was recently commissioned to assemble and paint. So, enjoying that. I need to get back into. They kind of gave me an indefinite timeline. They said no real rush, um, which is nice. Just because, like I said, it's been just super crazy hectic because I've got a lot of things going on. Like one of the big things is I get to finally finalize my move and get my new area and everything, and all that, and then the um, I just lost my train of thought. The other big thing. Oh, the other big thing is I'll be finishing school finally. Um, yeah, in my last couple classes here, and then I'll definitely be taking a break from school for a little while. But I'll finally be completing my degree program, which I'm, like I said, very happy about. And then, yeah, and we'll be moving into the holiday season soon as well, and all that. But then I also have something kind of coming up on the uh, work, my job, current job, profession, and all that. Um, that is unfortunately because I mean I have to wait. There's a kind of stuff I have to wait on to see if things pan out. If they do, I mean it'll be definitely great for myself and my family on a personal professional level. But unfortunately, the kind of the hobby and things I want to do will still kind of suffer because um, a lot of that basically will affect, like I said, the hobby and more directly the Nova Open because I think pre-orders usually open up in March, or yeah, like for the like supernovas and dwarfs and stuff like that, or even just regular thing. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to miss out at the very least on super and dwarf because I'm waiting on something that I won't know until May, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a very long process, but so I have to wait until May. So I won't be able to do any kind of the special passes or anything like that for Nova Open. But then when May comes around, and this is kind of a good thing, is like as much as I would hate to miss Nova, I actually would like to miss Nova this year, unfortunately. It's a weird thing, 'cause I don't want to, but I really do, actually. Um, so May swings around, and if things pan out correctly, I still have to wait until the beginning of August. Now, Nova usually happens at the end of August, beginning of September on the Labor Day holiday here in the States. And yeah, so I have to wait till the beginning of August for the final phase to figure out if things are going my way or not. So I really won't know if Nova is even something I could potentially go to until August. Now the issue with that though is waiting that long. Uh, um, unfortunately, means like I won't. I probably like I could maybe get a hotel somewhere. I probably won't be at the Hyatt. Maybe across the street at the other ones or somewhere else. And then registering for events, probably be a lot of waitlisting and yeah, just a whole lot of that. So unfortunately, so essentially, if May comes around and I've made it past that point, and I have to wait until August for the final, I guess, announcement of my work thing. Um, essentially, uh, I'll know by May if I can go to Nova or not. There's still potential that come August I won't get selected for what I'm uh, for my work program or whatever. Um, but I feel like unfortunately at that point it'll be too close, and just logistically and stuff, they'll just be too close and too kind of hectic to try to still go to Nova. Um, I will be closer, so it might be something like maybe I can jump into like one event or something and do like a day trip up there. Maybe I don't know, but then it kind of runs into the parking issue and other stuff there. So um, yeah, so I don't know. We'll be playing that by ear, but essentially, come May, I'll know one way or the other in May if I can go. Um, if May, if I don't get like that, I'm moving on to this next phase, then I'll probably look into still going to Nova. But if in May I find out I'm going on to the next phase, even though I still have one more phase to pass, um, I really don't see it happening. So really, I'll know for sure in May is basically what I'm getting at. um, so then the other kind of big news is, um, I don't know, kind of interesting, just because everything going on in life and everything just so hectic and busy kind of right now. Um, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like I'm not quitting, but I kind of am quitting 40K. Um, I'm still going to be working on my personal army and taking commissions, as I have time and stuff like that and everything like that. But I guess what I mean to say is like I have a lot of like undone products or projects that I'm just been liquidating, and plus we had run into some issues and some like medical bills that kind of popped up suddenly for my family that I had to start selling a bunch of things like my cacardons had to go um, and some other things, and so I'll be selling a lot more things before too long. I'm really kind of liquidating everything down to essentially just my personal Star Commander's army and kind of just focusing on that as far as 40K. But along with that, as far as getting to play the game or really push forward with anything like that, aside from um, getting models when I can, because I still haven't gotten the new Invictor War suit, the Impulsor, or the Incursors, or even the last few Soul Eliminators yet. So I'm definitely behind as far as it goes on those main releases. I have periodically been able to like kind of like week by week get the new character and convert it to go eventually into the Star Commander's army. But I haven't gotten any of those new units yet. And so I'll be kind of slowly, and again, as I liquidate other things, kind of use those funds to kind of um, finally get the stuff I'm missing for my Primaris army. Um, but where I come into kind of I'm quitting 40K, essentially is like I said, I'm still going to be building my personal army and collecting the new Primaris stuff for them as it's released. Excuse me. But I haven't had enough time to play really, and um, I'm just kind of burnt out with 40K as far as and the thing is like I don't get to play that much as it is, but I'm burnt out with Games Workshop and the release schedule. I get like the more they release and the more frequently they release, the more they can force people to buy and the more profits and money they can make. But it really is. I mean, it's really trying to keep up with it, and with this being a hobby, and I make literally, I would just say I make no money really because I take very limited commissions, and that money gets dumped right back into the hobby, which I mean I guess is somewhat, but it's not enough to say like I get a profit because I don't have enough viewers on YouTube for sure, and of course Facebook is just I share my product and my hobby with everybody. Um, and you don't get paid for the ads or anything for the number of likes or follows or anything you have there. And same with Instagram. I don't even know, like maybe you can get paid through Instagram, but I don't have enough followers there. I'm at like 100 and something, but um, that's really not why I'm doing it, to try to make money. It'd be nice if it did generate some sort of substantial amount where I could focus more on it. But currently I don't, and also don't have the time necessarily to focus on making it more of a business than kind of just a side hobby. that I'm doing to also, like I said, share my journey and my tips and techniques and things I discover along the way with others. Um, yeah, I just don't have the time really to focus on it because my family and my like daytime job takes so much of my time as is. Um, I would have to quit my other daytime job and try somehow. Um, yeah, it just wouldn't work like for me to try to go full on into trying to make this into a full business right now. Anyway, and then on top of it, I kind of feel like the market in general is, in a few ways, uh, cornered and oversaturated. And I say that as in like, it seems like everybody wants to have a YouTube channel and, obviously make content, make money, make battle reports, make painting, modeling tips, all that. And I get it, that's cool and everything. And then you have like the few that got in early and kind of, like I said, have like cornered the market or kind of monopolized it in a little bit of a way with, and they're all great content producers for sure, like Tabletop Minions, uh, Mini Wargaming, Spiky Bits. I mean, they're all out there with the what's his Miniature Maniac. I think that's his name. But anyway, um, so like I mean we have those like very high quality, and a lot of them were very early adopters into the YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So they were there at the beginning. So it's been the community has grown with their business kind of a thing. And plus then like the hobbies get more popular I feel and all that. And then the other thing is like then you have the oversaturation because everybody wants to bottle lightning, right? Everybody wants to um, create that same effect, have the same success as those people as well. So everybody is trying to like jump on. But when you do that, it's like what is making your content better or worse than others? And right now, like honestly, like I put out my opinion and I put out some tips and things like that. And like I said, if I had more time to devote to the like the program, like the software, the equipment, the time and everything to create um, better content. I definitely would, and I definitely want to. But it's just going to take time for me to get there because, like I said, like this is a very um, kind of a third tier. I don't even know if I could say third tier right now, as things have been so hectic. Um, but anyway, because I mean, I would love to do battle reports and all that, but to set up and to get all that stuff to be able to do a proper battle report that looks good and, like I said, to outshine others in the community already, like in this oversaturated market, um, the only way to beat them out is to have a quality that pretty much matches those that I say kind of have a corner on the market, which is hard to do when you're kind of a single man show or whatever you want to say, um, one man one man show. Um, yeah. Well, I'll get enough about that. So basically, because of just like I said, they're just like the psychic awakening. I guess is cool and all, but it's like all these new rules and everything to keep up on, and then I got to buy these new books all the time. They're always promising, oh, you won't need as many books, but then you do need more books, and then uh, I feel like we like just got some models, and then they're releasing this, and it's like I really want to get the Sisters of Battle thing, but like man, that's I mean, $200 something dollars. Yeah, it's a great price, but it's still a lot of money. And then who knows when I'm going to get to the sisters? So I didn't even I had to like really cut off the. It's trying to quit. Like we call it. Wow, I can't even talk. We call it a plastic crack, right? And it really kind of is at times where it's like you really have to be like, man, I really want that, but I need to draw the line at some point. And so that's essentially what I've done. I'm drawing the line, and on top of it, I'm kind of like liquidating a lot of other things because I can't keep up with Games Workshop and everything they're doing. Now, I say that with this next thing I'm going to get into is um, kind of like what I'll be doing. So, like I said, I'll still be working on my army, so I'll be sharing progress there. I'm working on my little special product of my homebrew chapter codex supplement that I hope to get finished. I still got a few other people that I'm working with that are helping me out with creating content art, like original artwork and stuff like that for it. So still working on that. And then, like I said, I'll still be taking kind of limited commissions here and there for people that want something done, and of course, like when I have time. Um, But the next thing, and this is going to sound kind of weird though, is I'm looking to start getting into Star Wars Legion. So you'll probably start seeing some of my project work as I start working on that, on those models. And it's one, like I said, I don't get a lot of time to play anyway, but uh, I just can't keep up with all these changes all the time with Games Workshop, and I'm hoping the same isn't true for Legion, but there does seem to be a bit more bookkeeping because you have tokens and cards and stuff, and that was one of the things that kind of pushed me out of X-Wing. X-Wing was great because, yeah, you could buy these ships and they were all fully painted, so there was like minimal modeling you had to do unless you wanted to do custom paint jobs on stuff. But otherwise, it was kind of like you buy and you play. Um, but the thing I didn't like about that was it did kind of make it pay to play to win. Um, because if you could afford to get more of whatever was really good or what was expensive and good or whatever it was, um, you could essentially win. Um, and so that's kind of like what I didn't like about that. Um, and so I mean the models weren't even like super cheap necessarily either. As far as like, I mean they were definitely a bit more or at least expensive than like 40K, but then at the same time it's like one ship and it is pre-painted. But again, then like I said, um, like it pretty much allowed, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it did allow pretty much anybody to show up at a tournament because that's one thing that's kind of nice about 40K and stuff is like a lot of times tournaments will have a restriction, must be painted models, must be 3 color minimum or something like that. But when you're buying something that's already painted, there is no restriction other than how much can you afford to win. Um, so anyway, so that's why I got an X-wing. I enjoyed it. Why I did play it. You know, I was a big Empire player, but I had to say goodbye to X-wing. Unfortunately, love the models, everything, and I wanted to get into Armada, but I really didn't get into my Armada more than I bought the Imperial Star Destroyer, um, just because it's a cool model. So it's just basically a display model, and that's it. And I still eyeball that Superstar Destroyer every time I see it. Like, oh man, I would love to have it just for display purposes only. But that's kind of an example. I don't know how great it is in the game. It could not be that great and just soak up a lot of points and everything. But it's potentially kind of like what I'm talking about. Like, you know, if somebody can't afford um, the right types of ships necessarily to go up against a Star Destroyer, like I'm not sure, like I said, how it works on the table. But I mean, that could be like I said, like kind of part of what I'm getting at with that. So not to say that's any different with any kind of tabletop thing, because if you can afford the big and bad models, but I do like the idea that there's at least one more step with like Games Workshop or Star Wars Legion and stuff like that, where essentially if you want to play in a more tournament setting, not a friendly game or like a more narrative thing where the rules might be a little bit more looser for who can compete, um, you're gonna have to paint the stuff at least 3 color minimum usually. So that's one thing I like. So the other thing is I'm a big, huge fan of kind of the Clone Wars stuff, like the Clone Wars cartoon. I'm a huge fan of, and I definitely love Empire. And I would originally was thinking about getting into it and collecting Empire, but I didn't. Like I said, I was still waiting, hesitant on to see how the game is, how the community starts to grow, and how it looks. But then they released the Clone Wars core set, and it just looks awesome. And there are more things coming out on the Clone Wars side of things. So right now, I'm looking at diving into Star Wars Legion and the Republic faction, and have some cool ideas on how I want my army. Um, Now, I'll definitely, like I said, be sharing and converting some stuff because I'm going to be doing a specific uh, clone trooper faction or clone trooper, I don't even know, regiment, or I don't know what they call them, battalions or however you want to call it. But and it'll definitely be unique in a way. And I say that because I've already seen some models painted as the Clone Wars or Clone Trooper unit that I'm going to be doing mine as, but I have not seen them, one, played this way or converted, because mine will actually be pretty, well, not I won't say heavily converted, but they'll be converted. and be more accurate than what I've seen in the past. Um, and I think I will be the first, at least as far as I know, and I kind of hope to be, because then that's cool to be unique in that way. But I'll be the first then actually have this clone unit. Although, like I said, I've seen you. You'll know what I'm saying about when I put them, like, and I'll make mention of it too. Like I've definitely seen units painted in the unit colors that I'm talking about, um, but I haven't seen an actual army of it or the conversions that I'm planning, which hopefully works out well. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at for the hobby. So I'll still, like I said, you'll still see 40K projects being done, whether it's my personal homebrew chapter or commissions. But then you'll also start seeing some Legion stuff popping up here before too long. Unfortunately, if there is going to be any battle report pictures and albums that I post up on Facebook, most likely be from probably Legion games. I'm starting to learn and play Legion more, um, and hopefully, I like from what I've seen, I've watched like some battle reports and some how to play videos and stuff like that, and it seems pretty straightforward and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward into it, and either way, I think it'll be just fun to get into a new rule set and kind of like I said, give myself a break from 40K for a while. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be here on the 40K side of things, but that's kind of another thing too. Is um, I didn't necessarily ever want my I don't know Facebook, my channel, or everything to just be 40K. I just wanted to be kind of more tabletop, miniature, like wargaming related in general. But because most of my time is dominated by my personal and like work life and stuff like that. Um, when I do have time, I really only have time for one hobby, and it's always been 40K for the most part. But like I said, I want to get into Legion more and kind of go that route, and then in the future just keep doing other projects and do things. I did Guild Ball for a little bit. That was there's definitely some old albums on there of my time with Guild Ball, which was a really fun game I enjoyed. Um, but again, I kind of felt like with that, the nice thing with that was like a low model count, but they started kind of releasing new characters a lot, and then so your old characters were kind of obsolete, which was kind of unfortunate. And then eventually they would maybe release a new card to update old characters, and I don't know, it kind of got. And then it ended up like when I moved from one area where there's a lot of people that played to somewhere else where there wasn't that many people that played. So I kind of uh, lost steam with that because there was nobody to play. So I ended up selling um, my teams. I had a fully painted fisherman team, which was pretty fun and fast and everything like that. Um, had a brewers team that I never got finished painting. I got them primed but never finished. And a hunter's team, which never came out of the box, unfortunately. They stayed in their box and ended up selling them off. And I actually think I still have the brewers somewhere around. I don't think they ever sold. I've posted them up many times, but nobody buys them off the eBay or anything. So it is what it is. And like I said, I don't even know the state of the game now. I even had a Farmers Guild special edition Tater model. This was before the Farmers Guild came out. They had it like at an event thing, and I had got that painted up and ended up selling that because I had thought about like when Farmers Guild comes out doing them, but like I said, then I ended up moving and nobody else played it, so I never really got into it, or got back into it. Um, but yeah, so um, just unfortunately, there's gonna be a lull because we have the holidays coming up in December and the New Year in January, and then um, like I said, I've just got so much stuff going on the personal side of life right now. A lot of changes coming up. Soon you're going to see this background be different. It won't be like this weird cinder block beige room with no personality, which will be nice. Um, get back into more of I guess my hobby space, my new office area for my hobby stuff. Um, so yeah, so I have that, and like I said, pretty much just be focusing on my homebrew chapter and commissions and Legion going forward. So Um, Not quitting the hobby by any means, just kind of quitting 40K-ish. Like I guess I'll still be painting and working on 40K type projects, just not be playing or buying any of the new rule books or anything for the I don't know, foreseeable future, I guess, to be determined, as it were. And then, of course, more of these collab projects or anything. This has been a really fun project. I can't wait to finish it. Hopefully, um, non-metallic metal works. There's a gentleman, friend of mine, I know a colleague in the hobby and painting world who is just light years, decades better at painting than myself and just tons of other people I know. He goes by Joe Papa Brand. I think that's how you say it, or Papa Bear. Sorry, not Brand. I don't know where he got Brand, but Papa Bear. And he has a Facebook, Grim Dark Painting, or is it? I think it's Papa Bear's Grim Dark Painting. Yeah, Papa Bear's Grim Dark or Gaming. Sorry, and um, it's Papa like Papa, but then Bear is Behre, and then Grim Dark Gaming. This guy, he is a master when it comes, to non-metallic metal paint jobs. Like everything he does is just non-metallic metal, and I mean, they're just amazing. He's got a beautiful custode, gray nights. I mean, he's done a few other. Uh, Death Watch is another big one. He donated the Death Watch squad to the Nova Open charity this last Nova Open. Um, yeah, it's amazing work. Definitely check out his Facebook, and he's got a little YouTube channel he's working on too. And I'm actually going to be trying to follow. He has a non-metallic metal painting guide on how to do it, and I'm following his recipe to paint my Knights Errant. So we'll see how that works out. And if it doesn't work out, it has nothing to do with his technique at all. It's just more or less I've never done it, and so we'll see how well. But maybe that'll be a good test for the video to see, how close I can get to what he is suggesting or how he's instructing it. So, yeah, definitely check it out. So, well, I guess this has been enough of my babbling for a while now. Thank you for everybody that supported and stuck around. And like I said, I'll continue to share updates of various projects, and who knows, maybe a random thing will come up, or like I'll just get the opportunity to go play a game of 40K or something. But um, yeah, just thank you for everybody for supporting the channel, the Facebook, and my now Instagram that I have going. And if you have any suggestions for content or anything you would like to see or anything like that, definitely please drop me a line, and I'll see what I can do, or we'll kind of go from there. I definitely appreciate it. And if you haven't already, I would definitely appreciate it if you subscribe. Hit the subscribe, like, notification bell, all that. Check the Facebook page out. The link will be in the description below. And yeah, I guess that's all we have for now. So, all right. Well, until next time.